Welcome to this quick take video. Today, we will be walking through the hardware and software installation of the Xilinx Alveo U200 and U250 adaptable accelerator cards. Documented instructions along with software installation packages can be found on the Alveo landing page at this link. Before reviewing the cards, let's go there now and explore that page. When you open up the link, click on the Getting Started tab. This will navigate to the bottom of the page where Try Alveo Accelerated Cards Today will be displayed. You'll see two options, Test Drive in the Cloud and Develop Deploy on-premises. While we'll be selecting the deploying on-premises using the Alveo U200, the content under the Alveo U250 is very similar. When you click on the Alveo U200, you will see 5 tabs: Overview, Specifications, Solutions, Documentation, and Getting Started. Let's briefly explore just the Documentation and Getting Started tabs. In the Documentation tab, you'll find links to multiple useful documents. The Getting Started with Alveo Data Center Accelerator Cards provides the detailed hardware and software installation procedures outlined in this video. Use this document during your installation. You'll also want to look at the Alveo U200 and U250 datasheet. It provides detailed product information, including system requirements, supported operating systems, qualified servers, and airflow requirements. Under the Getting Started tab, you'll find the high-level steps to set up your card and run applications. There are further steps for those wishing to develop their own accelerated applications. The steps outlined are based on the detailed instructions in the Getting Started guide we just looked at. You'll find links to download the software installation packages here. As you can see, they are organized under the supported operating systems. We'll be coming back to this tab further on in the video during the software installation procedures. Before we install our cards, let's first look at the different card configurations. Both the U200 and U250 come in active and passive cooling configurations. Active cooled cards have a built-in fan to cool the card and is shown here. Passive cooled cards, on the other hand, do not include a built-in fan and require forced airflow. Be sure to supply the required airflow. Details can be found in the Alveo U200 and U250 datasheet document. Both the U200 and U250 have the same interfaces, though, as we have seen, the active configuration card has a built-in fan. At the bottom of the card is the PCI Express connector. On the back of the card, there are 2 QSFP network interfaces and 1 micro USB connector interface. On the active cooling card configuration, the power connector is located at the top of the card, while on the passive card configuration, the power connector is located at the back of the card. For complete details, including DDR, FPGA, and network specifications, read the Alveo U200 and U250 datasheet. Before installing your card, verify you meet the minimum system requirements. You will need a motherboard with dual-width PCI Express 3.0 compliant slot, a power supply with a minimum of 225 watts, at least 64 gigabytes of system memory, and a hard disk with at least 100 gigabytes free. You'll also need internet connection for downloading and installing the software packages. Let's look at the supported operating systems and qualified servers. The Red Hat, CentOS, and Ubuntu operating systems are all supported with specific versions listed here. A list of qualified servers is also shown. It is recommended to use a qualified server to host your card. While you can use any server which meets the system requirements, card installation has been successfully verified by Xilinx on the following list of qualified servers. You can find the latest list of qualified servers along with supported operating systems and system requirements in the datasheet. Now that we have reviewed the installation requirements, let's install our card. Always, before installing your card, be sure to read the safety instructions in the Getting Started guide. Here are the instruction steps we will be following and are found in the Getting Started guide. They're only a guide, so be sure to consult your computer documentation for additional information. Since both the U200 and U250 cards have the same form factor, hardware installation will be similar. Okay, let's get started with the card installation. First, as always, make sure the host power supply is powered off. For enclosed computers, you're going to have to open your computer by removing the casing. Next, plug the card in the PCIe slot on the motherboard. Plug the aux connector to the card, making sure the plug is mechanically fixed with a click. As mentioned before, for passively cooled cards, the power connector is located at the back of the card, like the one I have here. We're nearly complete. Reinstall the computer casing if it was removed, and finally, power on the host power supply. Now that we've installed the card, let's verify it has been installed correctly and seen by the operating system. We can do this by opening up a Linux terminal window and entering the following lspci command. If the card is successfully installed and found by the operating system, you will receive a similar message as shown. If you run into any issues, you can consult the troubleshooting chapter in the Getting Started guide. Now that we have confirmed the card has been installed correctly and seen by the operating system, we need to install the driver software packages to run applications on the card. Let's do that now. All required installation software can be downloaded from the Xilinx Alveo landing page and come in standard Linux RPM and deb packages. The packages provide card driver information and include utilities used to validate hardware installation. Sudo access is required for all software installation. For those wanting to run applications, you only need to download and install the XRT and deployment shell packages. These packages provide the drivers and base firmware needed to run precompiled applications. Let's now download and install the deployment software packages. I'll be installing the software for the U200. However, the U250 installation steps are identical. First, we need to download the Xilinx Runtime package. If not already there, navigate to the Alveo landing page and select the Alveo card you will be installing, and then select the Getting Started tab. The first thing you need to do is download the Xilinx Runtime package. Expand the tab associated with the operating system you'll be installing, and click on the package name to download. After the XRT package has downloaded, open up a Linux terminal and enter the sudo yum install command along with the package name you just downloaded. Be sure to point to the directory where you downloaded the package. For Red Hat and CentOS operating systems, you will need to run the following commands before installing the XRT to enable the extra packages for Enterprise Linux repo. Let's do that now. Now we'll install the XRT package. Next, we need to download the deployment shell package. To download this package, you will need to log in to your Xilinx account. If you do not have one, follow the Create Your Account link to create one. Once you log in and agree to the end user license agreement, the download will start. After the download is complete, open up a Linux terminal and enter the sudo yum install command along with the package name you just downloaded. Again, make sure you are pointing to the directory where the package was saved during the download. When the installation is complete, you will receive a message, DSA package installed successfully. Please flash the card manually by running the below command. Do not run this command right now. Instead, copy the command from the terminal into a text file and save for later. Once saved, cold boot your machine by shutting down and completely powering off. After powering up the machine, it is now necessary to flash the card with the shell firmware. Open the file you just saved containing the command to flash and paste and run this command in a Linux terminal. You will be asked if you are sure you wish to proceed. Enter Y for yes. The firmware on the card is now being updated. This step can take up to 10 minutes to complete. Do not power cycle the system during this time. When you see the following message, it means the firmware has been updated. Finally, you need to once again cold boot your machine for the updates to take effect. Let's now validate our hardware and software installation. First, let's validate the card has been correctly installed by running the following lspci command in a Linux terminal. You will see a similar output. There will be two different devices found, one for management and one for user. During the XRT installation, a utility called xbutil was installed. It provides multiple commands to identify the installed cards and shell along with debug information. We are going to use two of the commands here, flash scan and validate. First, let's run the xbutil flash scan command. This command returns the DSA firmware installed on the card and this system. Enter the command in a Linux terminal. Next, let's run the xbutil validate command. This command validates the card installation by running 4 predefined tests and generating a high-level, easy-to-read summary telling you if the tests have passed. The tests include PCI link status, running a Hello World kernel, and 2 data bandwidth tests. All the tests will show passed, and the last line of the output will indicate that the device has been successfully validated. At this point, the card and driver software has been successfully installed. You can now run accelerated applications. At the Alveo landing page, under the Solutions tab, you will see many accelerated applications, including data analytics, machine learning, and video and image processing. For those of you interested in developing your own accelerated applications, you will need to install the development software packages. These packages don't need to be installed on the same server as the card. Complete instructions can be found in the SDXL Environments, Release Notes, Installation, and Licensing Guide. For complete details on the development flow and getting started in SDXL, take a look at the SDXL Environment User Guide.